Hey everyone, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry if you can hear birds fighting in the background. I have a window open, and there's some red-winged blackbirds out there, and they're noisy little sons of guns, and I don't know, they're fighting over something. So my apologies. This is just here for you to have something to look at while I do my intro. This is my April 2024 finished pages video. It won't be very long. I'm not sure. I mean, I think I had time in April, but I just was doing other things, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. So that's okay. You know what? We all have those months. I'm hoping May will be better, although I am going to be busy in May with my sort of end of course, end of year stuff. For those of you that don't know, I'm a chemistry teacher. It's my day job. So yeah, we'll just have to see. But I wanted to show you the few things that I did color in April. Isn't this pretty? So I'm actually recording this on May 2nd. So this is one of the pages that I tore off my Marjolaine Baston daily desk calendar. And I absolutely adore this color palette. I don't think the camera lighting is doing it justice. This is just the most beautiful kind of pale, almost duck egg blue. And then you've got like the orangey reds and the like the daffodil yellows. I just love it. So I put it aside thinking I need to use that on something. So there you go. Color palettes inspiration from real life, from the desk calendar on your gotta say, desk calendar on your desk, but I was just thinking with Marjolaine Baston, I think every single painting she ever did could be a color palette inspiration. I mean, she's gotta be one of my favorite artists. I just love her stuff. But anyway, on to what I colored in April. I always seem to start the month, each month, with some mandalas. It's like, I don't know, it's like my practice session, my training session. I don't know what it is. These are not going to be great color combinations. I was sort of playing with new supplies that I had gotten. So if you remember back in, was it March? No, it was April, beginning of April. I had bought the packages of the Flare glitter gel pens, and then the one package of was the Link Shine glitter gel pens. There was 10 in each. So I just wanted to play around with that out. Play around with the different colors that were in there. So I'll tilt this in a light. See if you can pick up the glitter. The whole page is kind of shiny, so it's, yeah. But I think you can see it. So the turquoise in the background, that's just an alcohol marker. And so is the green. That's another alcohol marker. I think everything else is, there was like the glitter gold gel pen. And then the silver. Actually, I think those might have been the only two I used on here. Just the gold and the silver. I don't know if you can see a little bit of smearing of the silver there. I think I mentioned in my haul, those Flare glitter gel pens, they take so long to dry, which Jennifer Stay has done some wonderful videos on sort of embracing the smear in terms of gel pens. But I wasn't doing that here because of the black background. It you know, and the tiny spaces, it just didn't make sense. So I didn't want that to smear, but it did. So because they dry so slowly, you really have to work. You have to think ahead. You know, how am I going to color so I don't have to lay my hand in what I've already colored? Does that make sense? So I colored that. Again, color palette isn't, you know, anything to write home about, but just trying out those gel pens. And then, again, this one, color palette, anything to write home about. But I was testing out the gel pens again, because there's some glitter on kind of the little hanging ornaments there. And there's a little bit of glitter in the mandala itself. But a lot of this was with the Kuretake Zig clean color rail brush pens. So the blues, the green on the flowers, the little teeny purple flowers there. And then there's sort of little floral elements on the sides, a little bit more greenery. And then we've got kind of a sun in the center there. That's all the clean color pens, the real brush. And I was curious to see how they were going to work on, this is really smooth paper. This Color Yeah Mandalas Night, the paper is really, really smooth. So I just wanted to see what they did. And they did okay. Sometimes they actually almost stayed on the surface of the page too long and then didn't dry, and then I smeared them. So, but it was okay. I did a little bit of blending with them in I think on the flowers a little bit. I don't know, you probably can't even see that. Maybe not. If I hold it up, I think you could maybe get a better idea of the color. When it's down low on my desk, I think it just all looks the same, but yeah, so you can see different colors in there. And then the bottom, the string is the blue and then just kind of the gold glitter. But those were 2 mandalas I sort of started off April with. And then there seemed to be like a big lull. And I think I was doing other things. I was swatching and, yeah, just doing other things. But I did do one little wee page in Small Victories. And it's this one here. So it's a very muted color palette. There's a little bit of glitter on there. You can see it. Just kind of the little speckles there, just to make them sparkle. This was Pitt pens. There's some pale blue and some white flowers and some greenery. That was about it. And then I had a yellow in my hand, so I colored the stars on this page. And the white flowers here are the Signo Broad white gel pen, which almost gives like a raised finish when you use it. Particularly if you don't, like if you sort of put the pen down really lightly and don't kind of drag it out, the ink almost pools and then it dries. It's almost like a souffle effect. You know, the jelly roll souffle? Almost like that. So these teeny little white flowers, I did that. So they were the same, because this page I think is kind of a corresponding page to this one, right? You've got the same flowers there. So I thought, well, I have the gel pen in hand. I'll just do the white flowers in this page. And I think that was about all I did. Yeah, I didn't do anything there. So, not just a small little page. And then I was doing, on the video where I was testing the Kuretake pens on different papers, I did do this as part of that. Well, I think I did it beforehand, but it's just some leaves I started on that page with those pens, and I'll finish that page at some point. Yeah, so there's just that little page in here. And then you did sort of get to see this one on that Kuretake real brush pen video where I was talking about testing pens. I did this one. So this is, I'm trying to think. This is all the real brush pens except the flowers. The flowers are the Stettler pigment pens. So these ones here, right? The Stettler pigment brush pens. So very similar to Faber-Castell Pitt pen, but just the Stettler version. And so all of the little flowers here are all, and then a few up here, on the ground here, just because the petals were so small and I wasn't used to the real brush pens quite so much yet, and I didn't want to have, it's tiny areas, right? And those bristles, it's easy to kind of like, whoops, and then it's, anyway, maybe I'm just making excuses for myself. I probably am. But this is what I did. Now, for this large area of sky, I was a little disappointed. I don't know if you can see. I can see. I've got some kind of streakiness and kind of overlapping. But that was part of what I wanted to test, right? If I use these for a background, how was that going to turn out? And again, on this paper, I mean, I don't think they blend like super well on this paper, using one pen to blend another. I think I showed you guys, if you see in the mountains there, I did the mountains in purple. I don't know why, I just did. But you can see, right, where one pen ends and the other begins. So it's not a seamless blend. But I do think it has kind of a watercolory effect. So I kind of like that. I didn't even bother doing any shading or blending on the tree. I just sort of did different grays and browns on the trunk. It was more an abstract kind of thing. I wasn't going for realism. All of this is just all one color. And then there was this outline around the whole thing. So I covered that up with just an acrylic paint pen, one of the brush ones. And, oh, and I did take a darker, so all of this is one green. And then I did take a darker green of the brush pens. I don't know if you can see. I just dotted it in places where, like, I thought there would be shadow, like underneath branches and kind of crooks. Can you see that? Just to give it, I don't know, like a little bit of texture, I guess. The clouds were drawn in. I just outlined the outside of them with a white gel pen, just so you didn't have that black outline. The tops of the mountains, you can see that. There's a little bit of, it's like the Wink of Stella, but it's the Spectrum Noir version of clear, just because I really like it for snow, because it doesn't have a silver tint to it. It just truly is sort of a clear sparkle. So hopefully you can see that. Water, didn't bother about blending. I just sort of, they had this line work and I just colored it different shades of kind of aqua blues, and that's it. So, I mean, you know what? It was fun because I didn't have to think about it a whole lot. So there's that one. Oh, sorry, and this is in Color Yourself to Tranquility and Reduce Stress with these beautiful artworks of trees. Melissa Launay. And honestly, that's it. I do have one WIP, though. And I was pretty proud of this one. This one actually did take me a while. It doesn't look like, it's very small. It doesn't look like much. And I'm hoping to finish this page in May. We'll see. And this was inspired by something that Kay said, Coloring with Kay. And she was talking about, it might even have been her plan, one of her plans videos, her March plans maybe? I can't remember. But there was a page in here, and it's a double page spread. And there's a sort of a blank area, kind of right, sort of top right corner of the right-hand page. And she had mentioned, I think it was, oh my good, Betty Fong, who I think is on Instagram. I think I followed her, but I never did find the post or the video that Kay had mentioned. But just what Kay had said was, in this sort of blank area, the colorist, the artist that Kay was mentioning, had created like a little scene. I thought, that's cool. I mean, I've kind of done that before with the mandalas. Remember my finished pages in some of the winter months there. I had taken snowflake mandalas in a Marty Noble Creative Haven book and sort of used stencils and stamps and backgrounds and turned it into a scene. And I had sort of been using kind of inspiration from Lisa Taggart, Inky Bliss on YouTube. She's a mixed media artist. Now, she doesn't do scenes in coloring books. She creates scenes herself, but just kind of a little mashup of ideas in my head there. So I thought, well, I'm going to try that scene idea, again with stamps and what have you, in here. So I got the scene done and I based some flowers, and that was about it. So it's really a WIP. But I do like the way it's kind of come out. So hopefully you're not too disappointed. So this is the double page spread. And that's what I created up in the corner. So, and these cherry blossom flowers are based in like a super light pink, and that was as far as I got. But I did this. So it's like the bunny is looking, I don't know, a little dream scene or something. But I have, really the only stamps I have are Lavinia stamps. I love Lavinia stamps. I'm not a card maker, but their stamps are very, they lend themselves very well to scenery or to creating scenes, so as opposed to, although they have some that are, just florals or whatever, I don't know, they just lend themselves really well to creating scenes. And they have these tiny little stamps they call minis, I think. And so they had this castle mini and a dragon mini and this little sort of trees kind of background here. And then the shape of this is, I think it's called, it's a stencil I have that's in two parts. And I don't think this one, I don't think the one I'm talking about is Lavinia Stamps. It might be a stencil I got from, I don't even remember anymore, Amazon maybe? And it's like two halves that fit together. And it's this tree line with a hill. And you've got both the positive and the negative of it, if that makes sense. So you can put this one down where the plastic trees stick up. And so I held this down. None of the stamps were here. And I did this kind of sunset background. And then I took the negative side of the stamp and laid that down. And then did some inking down here to create the black hill. So I wanted it to be like it's sunset, but it's shining from the other side. So everything just is in silhouette. It's all black. And then, so once I had both sides done, that's when I stamped. So I literally just stamped the dragon. I stamped the castle. The castle has little teeny windows in it. So I just took a yellow gel pen and just dotted in where the windows would be. You guys probably can't even see that, can I? There, a little easier to see. So can you see the little windows? I put little white highlights on the roof. I didn't do anything to the dragon. And then in the background here, I think that was a Lavinia stamp too. It was like Stars Mini or something like that. And I used some gold ink that I had from Tucson & Co. It's little dewdrop ones, and there's a pack of 4 that's different, like metallic. It's like platinum, star, and all these sort of cosmic kind of names. So I stamped stars, and then I took a clear jelly roll and just dotted around for some extra stars, just so. I don't know if you can get a. So there should be a kind of a twinkle. Here, we'll come out a bit. Hopefully you can catch that. I can't see on my on-screen camera image if we're catching that or not. I think we are. So yeah, there's just a little bit of twinkle in the background for night sky. Or a setting sun sky, I guess. But yeah. So that is my WIP. So again, I wanted to do that first. Just because I wasn't sure, if the ink got completely away from me and I ended up, ruining some of this image, I wanted to be able to sort of back off and say, okay, this isn't working, rather than doing all this first, then doing this and wrecking what I had colored. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's turned out okay. I could certainly do some corresponding thing up in here. I don't know what I would do. I guess I could bring the dragon over in here again, but we'll see. We'll see. I just wanted to get that done and see how it worked. The only one thing, and I tried to do like a shadow on the black of the castle. I don't know if you can see that or not. So it's like a little blacker on black. I just did that with colored pencil. The dragon did almost bleed through a little bit. I was using the VersaFine pigment ink, so the permanent one, just because I wasn't sure what else I was going to put on that page, and I wanted to make sure that the stamping took. But I think because I really inked that dragon, whereas maybe I didn't, and I'm not a do not know what I'm doing with stamping, so maybe I over-inked the dragon. I don't know. But, I think that's easy enough to cover up with a background. It's not like it went right through. I can just see a little bit of ghosting. This is all Distress ink, I think. the blues and the yellows and the oranges and then the black. That's all just distress ink with one of those little blending brushes. But yeah, that's it. I know this is a pretty short video for me. Well, I still managed to talk for 20 minutes, so I guess not as short as it could have been. But that's it. That's what I got colored for April 2024. If you like what you're seeing in the channel, consider hitting that like button, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, leaving a comment, letting a friend know that you found a channel you like. They might like it too. I do hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is well. And I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. And cross your fingers for me that even amongst the May craziness, end of year, end of course, for me, business, that I get some more time into color in May. Okay, everybody. Till next time. Bye-bye.